Welcome back, everybody. My name is Zero Kayaks, and this is Trails of Cold Steel. When we last left off, we just took down two very bad doggos.
An A+ outcome.
That should suffice.
And thankfully, Machias and Eustace were able to combat Link.
We did it.
That was tough.
I thought we were done for.
I have no intention of letting filthy beasts get the better of me, trained or otherwise.
Honestly now, this is no laughing matter, you know.
Look who's talking. You're grinning like an idiot.
Not as much as you are.
There they go.
I don't think we could have wrapped this month's field study up more perfectly if we'd tried.
We were all able to form combat links with one another, too.
Damn.
Instead of
We're not
standing
through the
around
woods just
talking.
yet, it would seem.
Looks like the end of the road.
You've pushed your luck one step too far this time! Are you that desperate to be thrown in a cell with Ragnitz?
If you want to arrest us, go right ahead.
Lord Eustace! What are you doing here? I thought you'd been locked in the mansion!
I chose to return to my studies. Well, what's it to be? Accusing my classmates of this crime will implicate me as well.
We couldn't possibly point our rifles at Lord Eustace.
Silence! Not even Lord Eustace has the right to trespass in a military facility, much less to release a suspect in our custody, directly opposing the orders of His Grace the Duke.
Enough! We may not be the best of friends, but I am Eustace Albarea. I will not simply stand by and watch as one of my classmates is arrested under false charges and used in a tool in some political war.
Lord Eustace. Eustace?
We have our orders, and nothing you say will change that. Disarm them, men, Lord Eustace included.
That will not be necessary.
What?
Impossible.
Lord Rufus? Lord Rufus!
We'd heard you were in the capital.
How? Why are you...
I received a message from the Academy at noon today, and I returned by airship as quickly as I could, with your instructor.
What?
Looks like you've all done a fine job.
Instructor Sarah?
What are you doing here?
I've been filled in on the circumstances, more or less. I'll take care of matters here. You all return to your posts at once.
But, Lord Rufus, with all due respect...
I've already informed my father. Or do you intend to embarrass me beyond your other transgressions?
No, of course not. Second company, withdraw!
Sir! Please, excuse us.
Oh my. Well, you can tell they're well trained, if nothing else.
The Provincial Army takes its training very seriously, of course. Though I resent the mere notion that it could be misused so grievously.
I'm sure you do.
Sarcasm.
So, what brings you here, instructor? Seriously, why are you here?
Your timing is a little too convenient.
Did you come after receiving word from the Provincial Army? Nope. I actually heard about what was happening a little earlier from a friend of mine. As soon as the news reached my ears, I shot to my feet and got right in contact with the director here. And he was kind enough to give me a ride on his airship back from the capital.
I don't know what to say.
Honestly, you seem to be prepared for virtually everything. Wait a second.
Director? Oh, you don't know yet, do you?
I also serve as a permanent member of the Academy's Board of Directors. Perhaps we'll have the opportunity to meet again in that capacity.
The board of directors?
Why is this the first I'm hearing of this?
I decided to keep it a secret so I could see the look on your face when you found out. I'm not the only member of the board, though, of course. I'm simply one of 3 permanent members.
That explains why you knew so much about Class 7.
Way too well prepared.
Still, I had no idea my father would attempt something so foolish while I was away. He's always been an obstinate man, but he's simply gone too far this time. As a member of the Academy's board, I cannot remotely condone the unlawful arrest of a student.
Rufus,
Indeed.
thank you for your concern.
All right. The 31st. And thus, we're leaving.
So that's Class 7, eh? A little rough around the edges, but they managed to get through in one piece. I think I see now why you're so fixated on them, Sarah. And Rufus Alborea. I've heard people say he's the sharpest noble of the bunch, but still.
What business could he possibly have over by the canyon so early in the morning? Is that what you were about to ask?
Who are you?
Pay me no mind, I'm but a low-ranking noble. I've been watching over those young students to see what they're capable of, much like yourself.
Really now? You'll forgive me for asking, but you look awfully like someone a couple of acquaintances mentioned to me a long time ago. You wouldn't happen to have some fancy-sounding stage name or anything, would you?
Ha ha! You'll just have to find that out on your own. Your acquaintances wouldn't be a certain innocent young couple from a foreign land, though, would they?
You'll just have to find that out on your own.
Indeed. Well, if you'll please excuse me, it's almost time for the airship to depart, and I really must be getting back to Heimdall. May we meet again, young Bracer. Do give my regards to the Purple Lightning, if you would.
More and more intrigue.
As if the situation weren't messy enough. It seems we've got another source of trouble on our hands now. I'd better let the others know, just in case.
And you call yourselves teenagers. Unlike me, you actually get to go to sleep every night. You should be full of energy by this point in the day.
Give me a break.
Considering all that's happened this weekend, I think we can be forgiven for being a little tired.
Well, that's certainly true enough. Group B had their fair share of problems to deal with as well, but they weren't quite as serious as yours. Although they were of a similar nature.
Come again?
What do you mean exactly?
Did they also wind up getting involved in a conflict between the two factions?
More or less. St. Ark is another territory belonging to one of the four great houses, after all. So they got themselves caught up in a bit of trouble. The four of them managed to get through it together in the end, though.
Well, that's good.
That's a relief, yeah.
But, Sarah, just what kind of mirror did they pour into buffing up Aurochs Fort anyway? What we saw was nuts.
So I've heard. And the Provincial Army isn't the only force trying to improve its armaments. The Imperial Army is doing the same, with the Blood and Iron Chancellor and his 20 armored divisions squarely at the center.
Really?
How should the military academy... Well, how should we act in a situation like this? Thor's graduates join both the Provincial and Imperial armies, right?
That's nothing you need to be worrying about. Not right now, at least. You're at the academy to learn. That's all you should be focusing on. While you're there, it's true that you may be forced to acknowledge some of the more unpleasant realities of Erebonia. But I believe there's something special to be gained from that. Something you can only gain now, at this moment in time. So long as you're together with your friends and classmates, people for whom there is no substitute. Maybe when you graduate and go out into the world, much of what you've learned at Thor's will have little meaning. But I still truly believe that sometime, somehow, what you experience as part of Class 7 will be an invaluable treasure to you. It may not seem that way now, but I know in my heart that it will someday.
Instructor.
You almost had me there for a moment.
That was the last thing I ever thought I'd hear from you.
Hey! What's with all the laughing?
I'm really sorry. Your words were quite touching, but...
Coming out of your mouth, they were just...
Painfully droll.
Something we can only gain now, at this moment in time. So long as we're with our friends and classmates, for whom there is no substitute.
Stop that! Are you trying to kill me?
You kids are awful. I was being serious, you know. Why must this instructor thing be so difficult sometimes?
Because it is. Hey, that person looks awfully familiar.
Looks like they got back okay. So glad I didn't have to bust in and save them.
Say what?
I thought it was all over when I got spotted at the fort, though. Hey, White Rabbit here. Uh-huh. Everything went A-okay. Don't sweat the details. I did what I was supposed to. No sign of them, though, but I did find a bunch of other interesting stuff. What? Fake intel? Someone managed to get a leg up on you and Gramps? Must have been one heck of a guy. Huh? Me? I'm gonna go meet up with Claire now. Gotcha! See you then, Lecter! I wonder what that military academy they mentioned is all about. Sounds kind of fun. Lammy!
The heck is that? Looks like those things we fight during our practicals.
Yep, we're done here. Let's get going, Aragetlum.
End of chapter 2.
Ooh, you're moving up in the world.
So we should have gotten about 18. There it is.
I've got a little reward here for you. Drinks are on me someday. Perfect!
Right.
You guys are the best!
A perfect S rank. Just what we were looking for. Ah, they can do finishing blow now. Perfect. Same thing with them. And I'm going to go ahead and do a save here. And I'm going to cut the video a little bit earlier on this one. When we return, we're going to start Chapter 3. Until then, I'm Zero Kai X. This is Trails of Cold Steel. We'll see you in the next one.